if it's the same old story to supersizing and growing your business, I think you might be in trouble. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our idiom, our expression today is, it's the same old story. And like a whole lot of idioms we've talked about recently, the absolute origin is unknown. Now, this is one that's supposedly started in the United States in the 19th century. So you'd think we could find and trace down the record of when this started, especially nowadays with the internet and everything. But it's confusing. So we just go with what we know. And there's a couple of theories about where this idiom may have come from. It might have come from newspaper reporting and spreading the news prior to TV stations and the internet especially, where reporters would report on the same stories over and over and over again, because that was pretty much all they had to report on. They didn't have information from every inch of the globe available, so they only had the same, usually local stories or reiteration of national stories that would come their way. You know, things like as technology changed and information could be spread more readily, then more stories were available. But until then, it was the same old stories over and over and over again. Or it could have come from literature, where early on authors used formulaic and different formulas for writing books. So every book that you would read pretty much had the same formula for the genre that it was in. So mysteries had a formula, romances had a formula, and all the authors used those same formulas over and over and over again to write their books. And so you would read a new book and it'd be like the same old story. So what does this have to do with growing and building and supersizing our businesses? It actually means that you are experiencing something more than once. Repetitive experiences, usually uninteresting or boring experiences, or predictable, repetitive, and not very interesting. Well, is that how we want our businesses to be if we're growing and supersizing them? No. Do we want them to be like everybody else and just like the competition or people that are serving our same people? Absolutely not. So I got to thinking, just like all these idioms, there's positive aspects of them as well as negative aspects of them. This one tends to have a more boring negative connotation, but it doesn't mean we can't use it in positive ways as we're building and growing our business. I say we take those repetitive, boring, but essential tasks and we automate them. We create processes and systems in our business to make those things automatic. The boring things, the repetitive things, the things that we know we can create a system or a process or a habit or a ritual for, we automate those things in our business so that we can spend our time and energy creatively serving the people that we're here to serve. That's an example of that to me. I guess the other one that this brought to mind for me was repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again, and learning from our mistakes versus other people's mistakes versus both. I think it's genius when we learn not only from our own mistakes, but we can read and learn the stories of other people or engage with other people in networking and mastermind type events and learn from their mistakes so that we don't have to make those same mistakes ourselves. Love to know your take on this particular idiom. Do you ever feel like, you know, and there are days, let's be honest, there's days when we go into our businesses and it feels like the same old day, Groundhog's Day, repeating over and over and over again. And that's when we know it's time for us to make a change in order to grow and supersize our business. All right, have an awesome day. Share your thoughts on this idiom below, and I will be with you tomorrow.